Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Heavy Haul Gaming. My name is DK, and welcome back to Truck Sim. Now, I apologize. This is like my fourth attempt to record this video because I just did not like what I was saying, how I was doing things. That's why we're in the middle of a load right now. We'll take another, don't you worry. But, in my last video, I asked you, the audience, the viewers, about topics to talk about. Well, this one has come up a lot from a lot of friends and was actually suggested by Music Man in my comment section of that video. And the question is, what advice do you have for someone that wants to get into trucking or become a driver? Full disclosure, don't. I'm kidding. So I want to say don't become a driver. I really do. But I don't want to say that at the same time. Because I do not regret becoming a truck driver for my real job. I do not regret it one bit. I've been driving for 2 years. That does not make me a veteran. So, I'm still a rookie. And my advice is not aimed at veteran drivers, obviously. It is aimed at the rookie drivers such as myself. So, my very first and biggest thing for advice to someone who wants to become a driver: do your research. So what I mean by do your research is there are a multitude, because I'm assuming you do not have a commercial driver's license in your home state at this point. There are a multitude of different companies and driving schools that you can attend that, let's start with the driving schools. There are a multitude of them you can attend that will help you get your CDL. They will only teach you the basic of the basic. Drive the truck forward, steer it, how to swing wide with a trailer properly, and how to back up a little bit. Just enough to pass your state's requirements for the test. I live in Illinois. We require a straight back, an offside back, and a blindside back. I know Wisconsin is a 90-degree back. They require that. I had a friend who went to a company in Wisconsin. They trained him, and he had to do that for his, even though he lives in Illinois. So, moving on to companies with that, there are a multitude, and I'm going to list off a couple that will train you or pay for your schooling, or will bring you to their specific school where you will also get paid to train. That trailer I just passed said Celadon. They used to. They no longer exist. This is Walmart. They will not either. I don't know how I took damage. I really don't. So, companies like, not Sinclair here either. They definitely not. Swift. Schneider. Rail. Spelled R-O-E-H-L. I am not sponsored, by the way. This company on my shirt, not them. This is a shirt from when my dad used to work for this company. My dad has been a driver for 30-some years. That does not make me an expert either. But it did give me a little bit of an edge. I was able to come in with a little more knowledge than most people, and I was able to not know everything, but I just had a slight edge on what to expect coming into this industry, being as I have a father who had drove for, when I got my CDL, 31 years. He is now at 33 years. I've had my CDL for 2.5 years. Which brings me to the next topic. Listen to the old guys. They're going to give you some really good advice. They're going to, you know, tell you amazing stories. Even if you don't agree with it, maybe, or your trainer or your, I don't know, your teacher told you, you must do it this way. These guys have been out here long enough to know you don't have to do it that way. If there's an easier way to do it the easier way. If and I'm not going to say a lot of these guys are going to be the nicest in the world. Some of these older generation drivers are very rude. They are extremely rude. Where's that train? Which side? Left side. So, a lot of these older drivers are rude. And since we've got this going on, I've got a little time to just speak and not drive. So, a lot of the older drivers do not want newer drivers like me out here. Younger drivers, statistically, are assholes. We think we know everything, you know, it's this way or that way. Remember, this older generation didn't have these computers we have in the trucks now. Like, see this little thing right there on the dash, or that showed in the HUD in the bottom right corner of the screen. They didn't have that. They had a paper roadmap or an atlas of the United States. I'm 24. I just turned 24. Happy birthday to me. Because it was yesterday at the time of recording this. I am 24 and still have that road atlas because I don't know when that GPS is going to go out. Your phone is going to take you car routes. There's a lot of places you can't go. These people had to use a road map. They had to use a lot of things. They had to utilize a paper logbook. Some drivers would carry 2 or 3 of these things in their trucks. Some of them never, ever went over so many hours. But they always went over those hours. All right, where do they want this trailer? I can do that. A lot of these older guys have seen some stuff that I hope we never have to see. And I've seen some stuff out here. They are going to be cranky. They're going to be grouchy. They're going to be tired. Don't tell them they're wrong. Don't tell them, well, my this and that said, my this and that said. They don't care what this and that said. Or who said what. They seriously do not care. But they're going to give you great stories, and as long as you're willing to listen, they're going to give you great advice. I know it for a fact. I get great advice from older drivers every day. And they are just amazed that I'm willing to listen. I apologize for getting quiet. Backing up takes a lot. I'm trying to do this without going into third person. My next bit of advice is don't argue with your dispatcher. Don't expect everything to be perfect immediately. Don't expect things to be perfect at all. now we can switch to that. There we go. We did it. Don't expect your recruiter, just like if you were in the military, don't expect your recruiter or your dispatcher to really tell you the truth. Do they think you can make it? Yeah, they think you can make it because it's not their job on the line if you don't. Essentially, don't believe a word they say. You do the math in your head. You know these roads better than they do, or at least you will. Don't be the jackass on the road. This is going to be the biggest part of advice. If you go out on the road, you are going to definitely, 100%, I can guarantee you, run into some idiots. And here's the thing, they're not just in the cars. I kicked my box. They're not just in the cars. They're everywhere. There are idiots in these trucks. The sad thing is, those idiots look like me. They look like you. They look like everybody you'll know. Be kind out here to any other driver. They're doing what you're doing. They're going through what you're going through right now. They are away from their families. They are away from their loved ones. There are so many things that they are currently doing. You're watching 100,000 things. You're tired. You just drove 11 hours or worked for 14. You've got 10 hours. You get to take at least one of those to eat, take another one to shower. That gives you about 8 hours. Because sometimes them showers are packed. Just be kind and it'll make everyone's day a whole lot easier. Don't cut other trucks off. The cars, they're going to be dicks to you. Every time. Be as kind to them as you can. Here's a bit of advice for drivers that are thinking about getting in. Really think about it. Like, think harder than you're actually thinking. Do not, and I'm going to emphasize this, do not think about it with your wallet. Because that is a recipe for disaster. And here's my reason. Yes, the money can be good. There are some companies that pay shit. I could probably rattle off 20 of them. Just off the top of my head. I myself work for J.B. Hunt. Currently. Maybe not in the future. I don't know. But they pay me really well. I do, in fact, like my job. But I also have a few things. I don't have a few things that some of these people, some of you, not even these people, some of you will have. I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have kids. I'm going to move this to aim down a little more. There we go. I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have kids. I have family back home. My mom and my dad. But I do not have anything that is going to leave me. I don't have anything to worry about. This is my home. I can do what I want. But you really need to talk with your significant other. Do you want to watch your kids grow up in more than just pictures and video? Do you want to be there for birthdays? If you're a driver, you're going to miss a lot of birthdays. I was on the road. I was working on my birthday. I was working on my nephew's birthday, on my niece, on all of my niece's birthdays, all of my nephew's birthdays. I have been working. Every single time I have been working. And it sucks. You're going to miss a lot of things out here. I'm going to sum up all of the advice I can give in this little bit right here. First, do your research on companies. Second, make sure this is a life for you. If you want to try it, by all means, go ahead. No matter what, even if you got a family, as long as you and your significant other are okay with it, go ahead. If it's not for you, decide that in less than a year. I drove for a year. I tried to get out of it. I went and worked a factory job for 2 weeks. It was a nightmare. I couldn't stand my boss looking over my back. I couldn't stand other people telling me how to do my job. The fact of being alone is intoxicating, and you will be alone. You will be alone. Being alone doesn't mean you'll be lonely, but you'll be alone. Think about this, a job where you get to sit in the seat, see the country, enjoy the journey, listen to your music on full blast, talk on a headset. You know, if you got like one of these, you got a trucking headset that you can use. I've got one that I use. I talk to my dad constantly. Listen to music. You can say whatever the heck you want. That's awesome. There is a freedom to it that is amazing. Moving on, though, listen to the older drivers. Like I said, they're going to tell you amazing stories. They're going to give you advice on how to go around it. On how to go around accidents. They are going to help you as much as you let them. And you know, don't do. I can think of names, but I'm not going to. We're going to go into this truck browser. This is a T680 Kenworth. You will see a lot of these. Okay, if you drive one of these, a Mack Anthem, okay, you don't see those often, but let's go to ones you do. If you drive a T680, a Volvo, what is this, the 579? Yeah, 579 Pete, or this one, the most common. Let's throw this, there we go. A Freightliner Cascadia. This is a mod, this is not part of the game. Don't go around bragging, because you're going to brag to someone whose truck looks like this. You are going to brag to someone who is driving a truck 10 times more badass than yours will ever be. A classic body truck. This is a W900L model Kenworth. With which bunk? Yeah, the Aero sleeper cab, okay. This is a 389 Pete. If someone is driving one of this, their truck is already better than yours, period. Personally. Personal opinion. Don't get me wrong. This Mack, T680, the Cascadia, they're all nice. They are all extremely nice trucks. Don't be a dick about what truck they drive. If they drive an old cab over, who cares? If it's a cab over, that truck is probably more badass than yours will ever be. You know, and it doesn't matter what you're hauling either. Like trailer listing here. You could be hauling a tanker. You could be hauling a Conestoga. You could be hauling, not that. You could be hauling a flatbed. You could be hauling a reefer. You could be hauling a container. It doesn't matter. These guys are twice as badass as we will ever be. It will take us years to catch up to them. So don't be a dick to older drivers. Listen. Learn. Don't be a dick to people on the road. Watch. Learn. We are the example. And we always will be. And my last bit of advice. this is a little bit of a bonus. Do not, no matter what the old timers say, this is the only time I will tell you to disagree with an older driver, with someone who's been driving for years. Do not be ashamed to go to driving school. Don't be ashamed of that. You went out. You took the initiative and found a way to obtain your commercial driver's license. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my phone real quick. I apologize. I'm waiting for a friend. We're going to go have birthday drinks. For me, since it was my birthday. Happy birthday to me. And just don't be ashamed. You worked hard. You've obtained that CDL. Now you're being trained by whatever company you're with. Good. Good. You are trying. If you and your significant other or whoever else is all for this, do it. You can make a career out of this. You can make a dang good career out of this. Because there are always jobs open in the trucking industry. Always. No matter what any other driver tells you, there's always a job out here for you. There will always be a job out here for you. Always. And if anybody tells you otherwise, they're a dirty liar. There's always going to be a job. We are the most essential thing in America. You can say doctors. You can say this, that. No. Underneath of a soldier. Underneath the people that wear these. These are my grandfather's. These are not mine. This is a copy of my grandfather's dog tags. I keep them in this office as a reminder of him, as my memento. But anyways, we are the most essential. We will always have a job for you. And eventually there's going to come a day where we are the old drivers. So, if you still want to become a truck driver, I'll be the first one to welcome you. I'll be the first one. You can message me. I'll help you do research on companies. I've done a lot of research on them. I've worked for 3 companies my whole life. One of them I left after 2 weeks because I didn't do enough research. I just liked the fact of over the road. They didn't give what they promised. I'm not going to name names. The first one was a local company to get my feet wet, and then I work at JB Hunt. I have worked at JB Hunt for a year and a half now. It's a wonderful job. So, thank you all so much for watching. And I hope my advice was good. If you like what you see, if you can think of more topics for me to cover, leave a comment down below. I am more than happy to help. So thank you again so much for watching. If you like this, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell down below if it's there. I don't know if it is. And I will see you all next time. Safe travels.